I chose to do my last speech on the negative effects of the individualistic society that we are creating and expressing that by emphasizing that humans were not meant and created to be alone. I would like to start off with a quote from Herbert Miller. The implication has been that only the individual free from the control of the group is normal and desirable person. Nothing could be further than the truth. Dare I even touch on that? Can I do anything to that quote to make it any more obvious? And I think that I have to. But I think I'm going to just explain what that quote means. And it's an understanding that the person separate from the group is nowadays thought of as a normal and desirable person, but in all actuality, the fact that they're separate from the community is a good thing, they are not desirable and they are not a normal person. And I'm gonna help you understand more of that as I go through these points. One of the first points I'd like to make is that all individuals which have had the instinct to identify themselves with a group have progressed, where the individual that has separated themselves from the group, there is probably no evidence of them because they chose to separate themselves from the group. If we take an idea of what a community is, and we understand that a family is the smallest form of community, it's the implied understanding that this person chose to not have a family. This person chose to not get married and not have children. Therefore, their line ends with them. I think that that goes against all nature. Every single species we are hardwired, every species, including us, we are hardwired to procreate and to evolve as a species. And these people who are separate and doing something different than the rest of the group, they don't have that innate desire to continue their lines. And this is influencing the rest of the society. When one person is separate and they could be having a good life out there separately up until their time of death, other people see that and they think that they want that. And at the end of the day, I think almost every person at the age of 50 will ask you what they could have given more time to. And I could bet you that so many of them would say that they wish they spent more time with their family. And another funny little understanding is that you cannot have an identity of your own, because your identity is who you are in the group. Who you are by yourself is you, right? There's no better than at math than you. There's no worse than at reading than you. It's just you. And there's no comparison, and your identity isn't an identity if you don't have anything to compare it with inside of your group. This is also tied to something called the pain overlap theory. And it's that when you have social exclusion and the effects of this social exclusion in your brain are related to physical pain. And you can't tell me that that would be a thing, that would be a connection. Physical pain when there's no social connection, if it wasn't something that was supposed to happen, right? Like if my arm is broken and I have pain from that, my body is telling me to stop moving my arm because there's something wrong. Now, when I have the physical pain receptors in my brain going off because there's a social complication. And I would just like to touch on the fact that apart from group, we are all greedy. In a society, we want to help each other. We're supposed to want to help each other. We're supposed to want to grow with each other. We're supposed to want to evolve the species and aid in the evolution. But without a group, we will just take. We'll steal. There's no morals. And why wouldn't we steal? Why would we steal, right? We would steal because if there's nobody else that matters to you, and the only thing that matters is you, then you wouldn't consider the feelings of your neighbors that you just stole from. You knew that you needed whatever you just stole, and that's all that mattered. And I would just like to close this off by emphasizing that the effects of this individualistic society have brought division within ourselves, within our community, and throughout the world. At the end of the day, we are all the same, and our carnal nature desire is to be seen by another.